I got my wife to design me a custom guitar, and as you can see, she chose wisely. On today's episode of Meet the Machines, we're going to be diving deep into my new Sully Guitars 622 Custom. Hey there kids, and welcome to a brand new installment of Meet the Machines, the gear series for people who like things that are nice. I'm Uncle Ben, and I like things that are nice. And today we are looking at something very nice indeed. This is my brand new 622 by the fine folks over at Sully Guitars, which is an American company based out of Texas. And they built me this amazing guitar, and it has a really stupid story about it that I can't wait to tell you because the entire aesthetic was my wife's choice. It's really less of a Sully guitar and more of a silly guitar, isn't it? Last weekend I had a show with Skank Banger, which is my 80s hair metal tribute band, and I played this guitar exclusively all night, stayed in tune great, wasn't too heavy on my shoulder, and because it's a hardtail, I can go between our regular and drop tunings, no problem. In today's video, I'm going to give you guys the scoop about all the specs that we landed on, why we chose them, and what makes it so damn awesome. As always, today's video is brought to you guys by everybody who supports my channel over on my Patreon page, patreon.com/Ben Eller Guitars. Sign up today, you're going to get access to a very special extended and ad-free cut of this video with even more of everything, which I know you want. You're also going to get access to hundreds of exclusive bonus posts, downloadable tabs, backing tracks, and so much more. So don't delay. Sign up today over at patreon.com/Ben Eller Guitars. I'll see you guys over there. For today's video, I think it only seems appropriate to pair such a classy, sophisticated guitar with this bright purple Soldano SLO100R rack mount head. This thing is a monster. And I've got that running through the UA aux. This thing is way too fun and way too easy to play. It's an alder body. I've got a roasted flame maple neck and fingerboard on here, which is lovely, beautiful, and very stable. I've got a Hipshot hardtail bridge on this guy, string through body as you can see right there on the back. One volume control, because fuck tone. And I've got a 5-way pickup selector here wired to these Seymour Duncan pickups. So let's talk about the amazing aesthetic of the guitar right here, which was entirely my wife's idea. So I've known John Sullivan from Sully Guitars for a long time now. We've met at NAMM shows in the past. And I saw him earlier this year whenever I was down at the Dallas Guitar Show playing with my main man, Andy Wood. We were down there playing the music side of the festival. And John was there exhibiting his guitars. That's a really cool festival, by the way. It's kind of like a way more tolerable NAMM that's like very music focused. So I ran into John there and we got to talking, and I played on his personal 622, I don't know what they're called. And it's kind of similar. It has a hardtail HSS, very like Jakey Lee kind of styling, I played on his and I loved it. I was like, man, this neck is so comfy. The body fits me great. It sounds awesome. And we got to talking and he was like, man, after the festival, let's talk about speccing out a guitar. I'd love to build a guitar for you. And I said, I'd love for you to build me a guitar. I love guitars. I use them all the time. So after I was home from the fest, we got to talking about it and I landed on the 622 body design because I'd played it and I liked the neck a lot. But whenever we talked about the aesthetic of the guitar, this is where I start to spiral. I was texting John and I was like, oh, we should do pink tiger stripes. Wait, hang on, we should do red sparkle. And I think he got the drift of how the conversation was going. And he's like, how about you sleep on it and we'll reconnect tomorrow and decide on the look of the guitar. I was like, okay, that sounds good. And he added in, he's like, but we should make sure that your wife gets final approval of the look of the guitar because I don't want to see her roasting it on your Instagram page. So here's the deal. So anytime I'm out on like a big touring show, like the Shipwrecked cruise that I do every year, that's coming up in January. I hope to see you there. Anytime I'm doing one of those gigs where I don't have cell service, my wife, if she's home, will do an Instagram takeover. And usually her Instagram takeovers are just her roasting my guitars. She'll put up like a photo of one of my favorite Les Pauls and be like, I can't believe I have to live with this gold top hideous piece of shit, you know? She does not hold back at all, and you guys love it, apparently. They're usually like some of the most popular posts of the year. So Sully didn't want to see one of his guitars getting roasted, so he said she should have approval. And then he added in, like, actually, you know what? Just to be safe, let's let her decide what the guitar looks like. That way we know she won't hate it. So I went and I talked to my wife, and I was like, hey, guess what? I'm getting a new guitar. And she like rolls her eyes, and she's like, big surprise there. And I'm like, there's a twist. You get to decide what it looks like. And this is her entire process in real time. This is my reenactment. I'm much less attractive. But she goes, oh, I want it to look like that jazz design. Now, the jazz design, if you don't know, is this teal and purple graphic that you had on like every cup of ice water if you were born in the 80s or early 90s. I grew up with this design. We all did. I was born in '84, so, you know, this has been here my entire life. And my wife is a big fan of this design, which is called jazz. And I was like, that's hilarious and somehow very appropriate and awesome. I texted John, I was like, she wants the jazz design. And he goes, like from the solo cups, the Dixie cups or whatever from like the early 90s. And I was like, yes. And he's like, done. That's the best idea ever. I knew we should have asked her. And she was right, because this is awesome. And I kind of laugh every time that I look at it, and it just makes me want to play and have fun. Now here in the bridge, this is the pickup I was the most excited to try. This is the Seymour Duncan Custom Shop RTM, the Ratistonus Maximus, otherwise known as the Warren D. Martini signature pickup. It's like a hyper-idealized version of the classic JB. I have a buddy who has one of those Juarez wound, that's really hard to say, Juarez wound JBs from the 80s and like a 5150 replica guitar. It reminds me a lot of that pickup. It feels a little bit hotter. It feels like it has a little bit more low end and maybe a little bit smoother top end than a lot of the modern JBs. It sounds insane. Huge thanks to the people over at Seymour Duncan for providing the pickups for this guitar. I met them at Gear Fest over at Sweetwater this year, and they were kind enough to issue me the pickup set of my dreams for this guy. So we got the RTM in the bridge. In the middle position, we have the scooped Strat single coil, which has a great vintage Stratty kind of sound. Let me show you guys what it sounds like split with the bridge. And here's what it sounds like on its own. I think it sounds awesome. It's got that classic steamy Ray Vaughan tone that I'm always chasing. And here in the neck, we've got the Hot Rails, which is a pickup that I've never used before, but I was excited to check out because I know a lot of people really dig it. Having a humbucker with this narrow of a spacing, you know, it's not this wide, it's this wide. So having the magnetic field be that much smaller, it changes the tone. It really does. It doesn't sound full on like a humbucker, but it doesn't really sound like a single coil in the neck either. I'd say it's probably about 75% humbucker, 25% single, which is kind of what I want. I find a lot of neck humbucking pickups to be too fat, too warm, too woolly, and having the single coil sized humbucker really fits the bill. You can hear it's kind of got that toothiness that a single coil has. But it's got a lot more power, and obviously it's noiseless too because it's a humbucker. And again, it splits great with that scoop Strat sound in the middle. I want to try to dig deeper into the Extreme back catalog. What is that riff off Extreme 3? It's something like that. I need to listen to that again. It's been so long since I heard that. The neck here is this beautiful satin finish on that roasted flame. It's got luminlay side dots here for high visibility, even 5 beers into a show. The fretboard inlays here, you can see, are purple to match the purple of the decal. Very cool touch right there. We've got locking tuners, which are something I also think should be a standard issue on literally every guitar. They work better. Why don't we have these on everything? I think those are also Hipshot, if I'm not mistaken. I do have a little hairband here around the headstock. I find that if I smack it really, really, really hard, that D string can ring out a little bit behind the nut. You probably can't hear that on camera. But just having this little hair tie back here behind the nut keeps that quiet. The neck profile is nice and thin. It's not like insanely thin. I think most everybody would be comfortable on this neck. It's not one of those ones that feels like you're just playing a fretboard with no neck attached to it, you know? Still got a little bit of meat to it, but it is still nice and skinny. Very smooth C-shaped profile on the back. I love this thing, man. I've not stopped playing it since I got it. Sounds great, plays great, and it looks fantastic. And it's also just really cool that my wife came up with the design, you know? And it's built right here in the US of A by a small business. Dude, hit him up sometime on the Instagram or whatever. Tell him Uncle Ben sent you. Ask him questions about speccing out the guitar of your dreams. Hit him up, support small business, support American builders. Rock yourself a Sully. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Huge thanks goes out to Sully Guitars for building this amazing creation. My wife for the amazing aesthetic ideas. Seymour Duncan for providing these fantastic pickups. It's a dream team of a lot of my favorite folks here on the planet. So thanks to everybody who made this possible, and to you guys for watching this here video and supporting my channel. If you want to continue supporting my channel and get even more cool stuff, be sure to sign up over at the Patreon page at patreon.com/Ben Eller Guitars. It's going to get you access to hundreds of bonus videos, downloadable tabs, backing tracks, and so much more, and a community of awesome people just like yourself. I'll see you guys over there. Be sure to hit subscribe, like the video, ring the bell for notifications every time I upload a new slice of fried gold, and be sure to tune in next time for something else that's really sick. Thank you guys so much for watching. Now get away from the computer, grab your favorite guitar, and let's mash some rope. Less clicking, more picking.